The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm here to bring you my predictions for the bracket, how it's going to go down from the play-in to all the way to the finals MVP and everything. So let's get started with the Western Conference Final. We've got Oklahoma City Thunder going to the New Orleans Pelicans, and now right there, I've got the Thunder in upset. Now, like Kevin Durant said, they have 3 or 4 guys that are around 6'7", that could dribble the ball, defend the ball, shoot the three, something that the OK3 with Harden, Westbrook, KD did not have, but now they have it. And now, no Zion Williamson for the Pelicans. That puts all the scoring, all the scoring responsibility on Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. Now, they've got the guys to stop at least one of those guys, and I believe if OKC can stop one of these 2 guys from having a big night, they will win it because they have their own guy in Shai that can drop 40 points on any given night, is averaging over 30 points a game in the regular season. Absolutely insane. So I believe in a 1 game off right there, OKC will beat the Pelicans. So they will be facing the loser of the Lakers or Timberwolves game. So that leads me to the Timberwolves going into Los Angeles. Now, these players from the Lakers want revenge for being traded by the Timberwolves. When I'm talking about revenge, it's D'Lo, Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley. And I believe these 3 guys are going to have a big game, and it's going to be a blowout in LA. Lakers win it. There's a problem with the Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert will not play because he tried to punch Kyle Anderson. Absolutely insane. Now, I love Anthony Edwards. I'd love to see him in the playoffs again, but that's a big problem when you traded for a guy like Rudy Gobert and he's punching your teammate and he's out for the game. Like, jeez, man. It's the biggest game of the season, and he's out because he punched their teammate. No way I see the Timberwolves winning that game. And I even, in fact, have them losing against the Thunder. I think the Thunder have the guys, like I said, to stop Anthony Edwards. And right now, Timberwolves are going to rely on him. And if you can get this guy out of his rhythm, then you're going to win that game easily. I understand Karl Anthony Towns is there, but it's going to ride on Anthony Edwards. But I believe OKC and the Lakers will be going in as the 7th and 8th seed into the playoffs. Now, Nuggets will be playing OKC. Now, this would be a nice series. I do believe the Nuggets get through. And the Nuggets have become an underrated team in my eyes because last year they complicated things for the champions in the Golden State Warriors. They had no answer for Jokic. And the Nuggets, keep in mind, no Michael Porter Jr., no Jamal Murray, and they complicated it for the Warriors. So this year they're healthy. This year they're coming in. And I believe the Thunder do complicate it a bit for the Nuggets, but it'll be Denver in 6. Denver has become very underrated, and they will get through to the second round. Now, this leads me to the Grizzlies versus Lakers. Now, one of the best net ratings in the league is the Memphis Grizzlies. Even with everything that's been going on with Ja Morant, they have became one of the best offensive and defensive teams in the league. And the problem is, I know you might be thinking, you're hyping them up. They're in the second round. They beat the Lakers. As much as I would want that to happen because I have personal interest. But my unbiased take is Lakers take it in 7. This Lakers team is surprisingly healthy. If they manage to get healthy in this first round and they stay healthy the first round, they win it because Steven Adams is out for the Memphis Grizzlies. That's a huge blow. Now that leaves the Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Jaren Jackson, by himself, basically, to defend the paint. Now, that's going to leave one of 2 people in LeBron James and Anthony Davis mismatched. One of them will be guarded by Jaren Jackson Jr., but the other one will not. So, it's going to take a huge series from Jaren Jackson Jr. It's going to rely on his defense. Can he stop LeBron and AD? Can he? So, I believe he won't. I think this goes to 7. The Lakers win it, and in a game 7, you never bet against LeBron James. I believe everyone knows that now because LeBron James becomes a different type of animal in a game 7. I can't remember the last time he's lost one because he's just absolutely insane. One of the greatest players, in my opinion, the greatest. But anyways, leads me to the following series, Kings versus Warriors. Now, this Kings team sucks defensively. They suck. I believe they have the 24th worst defensive rating. They're 24th. Now, the Warriors, they're around like 16th, all right? But the Kings offensively, statistically, have been absolutely insane. The number 1 team. They have been better than previous Warriors teams that had KD, Curry, Clay, Draymond, that when they were champions. Their offense statistically is better than those. That's pretty insane to think. Now, Andrew Wiggins is back. He's getting plugged into the team. I don't know how that's going to work, but I don't think it's going to work. You might be thinking, what do you mean? Andrew Wiggins coming back is a good thing. I do believe that too, but he hasn't played for a very long time. And now they're going to throw him into playoff basketball against one of the best offensive teams in the league, if not the best. Come on, man. Now, I believe the Kings are going to win this in 6. I understand, you might be thinking, what are you talking about? This is an ideal matchup. Everybody, the Clippers, Warriors, Lakers, everybody wanted this matchup against the Kings because we all know what matters in the playoffs is defense, right? But I just think the Warriors they aren't as good defensively. They are better defensively, but they're just not elite defensively for me to be saying, yeah, this Warriors team is just going to absolutely destroy them. I understand they are 3-1 against the Kings, but the Warriors have been absolutely pathetic away from home, and they don't have home court advantage, all right? So they've won 11, and I believe they lost 30 away from home. At home, they've been spectacular, but away from home, I don't know why they suck so bad, and they don't have that advantage, so I think the Kings are going to take it for that reason as being my major reason. I understand the Warriors do turn up in the playoffs, but they're not going to do it every time, and the Kings are just hungry offensively. They blow teams out, and I think they're going to do the same. They're going to take it in 6. Now, this leads me to the last series in the first round, Suns versus Clippers. Now, I have always wanted to see the OK3 Thunder when they had PG, Westbrook, and Carmelo. I was like, when they made that team, I was like, I can't wait for them to play the Warriors in the playoffs. But then they were getting eliminated by Portland, Utah. It was just a mess. So now we have to settle for this. Kawhi Leonard, possibly PG eventually in the series. I don't know what's going on there. Westbrook, they're going to be facing off against KD, CP3, Devin Booker with no animosity anymore. Back then, man, those regular season games felt like playoff games when it was Oklahoma City Thunder with Westbrook against KD after he left. But I'll settle for this. But I think Suns take it in 5. They're undefeated with Kevin Durant. They're perfect. KD has just been plugged in, and he's been absolutely insane. He's had a couple off games, but he seems to figure it out with CP3 and Devin Booker. They've got an understanding. They're 8-0. They're going to win this series comfortably unless Paul George comes back. I'm predicting this as if Paul George comes back for game 3. And I believe by then it'll be too late. It'll be 2-0, 3-0. The Suns are going to run away from this. Do I believe the Clippers, if they had PG all 7 games, would they be able to win this? I don't believe they would, but I believe they take it to 6 or 7, but 5 is for now. I understand Kawhi Leonard has the capability of shutting down Kevin Durant, but I don't have faith in this Russell Westbrook, this version of him coming out and just lighting it up like he did against Memphis or against other teams where he's been efficient. I don't believe that's going to happen. Russell Westbrook is one of those players that isn't very efficient in the playoffs, and we're going to see it again. Kawhi Leonard will be, but Westbrook will be the downfall unless PG comes in and takes more shots away from Westbrook. Then it's not going to be any problems for the Phoenix Suns. Now, Nuggets versus Suns. Now you're going to be looking at me like you just hyped up the Suns. Well, I did say the Nuggets are very underrated, and I'm going to say the Nuggets take it in 5. They have the players to take down the Phoenix Suns here. Michael Porter Jr. can match up with Kevin Durant. Jamal Murray can match up with Chris Paul. And who's going to guard Jokic? The last time DeAndre Ayton played an elite big in the playoffs that I saw, he got absolutely smothered, was Milwaukee Phoenix, that finals where Giannis is down and the Milwaukee Bucks, they are down 2-0, and this man absolutely embarrassed DeAndre Ayton. It caused so many problems that Ayton wanted to go to Indiana, but the Suns decided to match it because they had no better alternative center. And now he's going to do the same thing. I believe Jokic is going to absolutely destroy, Ayton, because not only can he dominate in the paint, the perimeter, he's a very good three-point shooter. Now, can DeAndre Ayton guard the paint and the three-point line? No, he will not be able to do that. Jokic is going to have a fun time. Kevin Durant's going to get mad. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, everyone's going to be blaming Ayton, and it's going to lead to a Nuggets 5-game gentleman sweep. They're in the Western Conference Finals. Now that leads me to Kings-Lakers. Now, the Lakers must be laughing somewhere because they've got the Kings. They wanted the Kings, and now the Warriors lose their chance to play the Lakers in the second round, all because they can't play away from home. So, Lakers are going to be playing against the Kings, and I got the Lakers winning in 6. This is a perfect This is perfect for the Lakers because AD and LeBron are going to absolutely eat. There's not very good defenders. And you might be thinking, well, you might be able to apply the same thing to the Golden State Warriors. But the Lakers are capable of winning away from home more than the Warriors. And I believe they have a better chance of going into Sacramento and winning a series than the Warriors. I believe this Lakers team is a better team than the Warriors. And like I said, I want the Lakers to lose in the first round of Memphis. So I personally don't want them in the conference finals, or else I'm going to be losing a bet I did with my friend. But they're going to make the conference finals. They're going to play the Nuggets. Now, Nuggets want revenge because in the bubble, the Lakers obviously beat the Nuggets. I believe the Nuggets actually beat the Lakers. Now, I just think this Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Jokic big three, is so underrated. People are writing them off as if they are the 8th seed. They're treating the Nuggets so poorly. I cannot believe it. They call them the most overrated team. No, they're not. I believe they are underrated now because people think it's a first-round exit for them. No chance, buddy. I think they're making the finals. They finally have a healthy squad. Last year, they looked dangerous and they didn't have their second and third option. That was it reminded me of 2015 LeBron, and I don't mean to disrespect LeBron and put Jokic in the same name because Jokic hasn't accomplished anything. And the thing is, he hasn't, but there's so many people talking down upon Jokic that I believe he's going to come out and try to win the championship as hard as he can. He's going to have that Giannis mentality from 2021, and I believe he's going to make the finals. Does he win it? I don't know, but let's go into the East. Oof, this is interesting. Very interesting. Play-in tournament, Raptors, Bulls. The Bulls are one of the best defensive teams. They're the 5th best defensive team, and they added Pat Bev mid-season. So I believe the Bulls beat the Raptors. The Raptors are pathetic in my opinion this year. You got Scotty Barnes, one game, he looks really good. The next game, he's dropping 5 points. So I believe the Bulls going through. Pat Bev is the master of play-in tournament wins. He's going to come out crying. I want a playoff game with the Bulls. But will it be enough? Well, he will be playing against the Hawks. Now, Jimmy Butler, don't bet against him in the playoffs. He's absolutely insane in the playoffs. I understand that he are the 7th seed, but Jimmy Butler, man. If you guys haven't been watching basketball the last few years, Jimmy Butler is a different type of player in the playoffs that you see in the regular season. He absolutely turns it up, and I believe the Hawks are not very good defensively. They are, the Hawks, in my opinion, they're not a good team. They're not a good team right now defensively, and that really hurts them. And what does Miami have? Well, they are extremely good at defense. The way they play basketball is they want to win a low-scoring game. If they got you in the fourth quarter, 5 minutes remaining, and it's 95-95 or 90-90, a close game, low scoring, they got you where you want, or they got you where they want you, and they're going to absolutely win that game. And I've seen that countless amount of times with the Cavaliers, when they play the Heat, that's the way they win games. If it's a high-scoring game, they probably won't win it. But if it's a low-scoring game, that's where they want you. Now, that will lead to the Hawks playing the Bulls. Like I said, the Bulls, I believe they're a really good defensive team. The Hawks, not really. But Dejounte Murray, I believe, will turn it up. He, in my eyes, right now, is a better player this season than Zach LaVine. And Trae Young, he's going to turn up sometime, and he typically does like to turn up in an elimination game. He did it last year against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I believe he'll do it again, and the Hawks get the 8th seed, and they try to get their revenge after losing in the conference final to the Bucks a couple years ago. Now they play them in the first round. So, Bucks, Hawks, the Bucks are insane. The Bucks, in my opinion, at the moment are the best team going into the playoffs. They are the best team in the league. They're going to take the Hawks to 5 games and win it in 5. Giannis Antetokounmpo will absolutely destroy and average about 40 points a game or more because the Hawks have no answer for Giannis. And the problem is Chris Middleton might be having some injury problems, so that might be the downfall. But with or without Chris Middleton, the Bucks beat the Hawks. Now, Celtics versus Heat. 2nd seed Celtics are playing against the Heat. Conference final. Another conference final rematch in the first round. Now, the Heat took them to 7. Absolutely insane series. 1 shot away from making the finals. Jimmy Butler missed that 3. If he would have made that, man, we might have seen Heat versus Warriors. But instead, revenge game for Jimmy Buckets. Nope. Celtics in 6. The Celtics are one of the best teams in the league. I believe they're the best net rating overall, if you put together the offense and defense, I believe, oh no, they're number 2. They're number 2 net rating. So Boston is great. They've got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, great defensively, great offensively. This is a team made for the playoffs. They ride and die from the 3-point still, but they added Malcolm Brogdon, who's a great great bench piece who could put up 25 points off the bench. That's an upgrade from what they had with Pritchard. To Malcolm Brogdon. Oof. Take that in 6. 76ers Nets. Now, the 76ers have a lot of guys who just don't perform well in the playoffs. Well, they've got the guy that doesn't perform in the playoffs. You know how I was talking about Westbrook? Well, they got James Harden. James Harden sucks in the playoffs. Just sucks. You don't know the amount of times I have made these prediction videos, and I end up putting the 76ers in the conference final or in the finals, and they end up getting eliminated in the first round, and I'm just mouth open like, dude, are you serious? The year they lost to Toronto, I thought they were going to make the finals. Now, they would have if it wasn't for Kawhi Leonard, but man, I was disappointed. Following year, I got them making the conference final. I believe it was like a second-round exit. Then the following year, I had them in the finals, first-round exit. So it's like, when do I ever win with these Sixers? This year, I believe they beat the Nets, but they go to 6. You might be thinking this Nets team has no business taking the Sixers to 6 games. But, you know, they're going to have off games. James Harden is going to have that 7 for 41 and 30 points. He does those games quite often. Now, that leads me to the next one, Cavs versus Knicks. I believe this is probably one of the best first-round matchups. And you might be thinking, as a Cavs fan, I might be a little biased here, but I believe it goes in 6. Number 1. Net rating, the best net rating, number 1 team is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I believe the Knicks are like around 10. The Cavs are number 1, and you're telling me they can't beat the Knicks? I understand they're 1-3 against the Knicks in the regular season, but only one of those games did Jared Allen and Evan Mobley play together against the Knicks. All the other games, they didn't have them. Those are 2 of the best defensive players in the league. In my opinion, Evan Mobley is the defensive player of the year and should be, without a doubt. And I hope he doesn't get that Anthony Davis treatment where they're like, oh, he's too young, he'll win it in the future, and he ends up not winning any. So, we're going to end up Cavs winning it in 6. The Knicks have overperformed. They missed out on Donovan Mitchell, but they got Jalen Brunson, and he's done absolutely phenomenally. I'll give him a little clap because he has done well. And everyone is saying if the Knicks beat the Cavs and the Cavs lost the Donovan Mitchell trade, now, would that be true? I'm just going to leave a no comment there because I do not want this to haunt me. But I'm going to say the Cavs win it in 6. Now, this leads me to Bucks versus Cavs. No Chris Middleton, it looks like. He's questionable. He's doubtful. You know, he's injured. He might be playing hurt. So we all know the Bucks need that big 3 they got with Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis. Without him, this is where I'm predicting it. Cavs in 6 again. Yes, they're going to win it in 6 games. I believe that Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are enough to stop Giannis Antetokounmpo from going absolutely berserk. I do think he's going to average over 30 points in the series. Drew Holiday, we all know he can shut down one of the guards, but the other guard will be going crazy. So if he decides to go on Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland, he'll stop one of them, but the other one will go crazy. And Giannis, I don't believe he can stop Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. So it's gonna be really interesting. But I think the Cavs match up decently against the Milwaukee Bucks without Chris Middleton. So I got Cavs in 6. That goes with Celtics versus 76ers. Sixers, like I said, pretenders in the playoffs. They just blow it. I don't know why, but Celtics are gonna win that in 5. They own the Sixers in my eyes. And they're going to end up making the conference final yet again. Now, you're going to be thinking, man, didn't you just say the Celtics, the take with the Knicks and the Cavs, that the Cavs are 1-3, but that didn't matter because they weren't healthy. And I'm going to say the Cavs are going to beat the Celtics in 4 or 5. My bad. 5. It'll be 5. The Cavs are 3-1 against the Celtics. Some of those games the Cavs weren't healthy. Some of those games Celtics weren't healthy. But the Cavs match up really well against the Celtics, man. They really just got to stop the 3. They rely too much on the 3. And in the paint, you know, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, offensively and defensively, are going to own that paint. They're going to own it. Both sides of the court. 3-pointers, you got to stop that. Donovan Mitchell, I believe, is one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Darius Garland, he can get hot from three. You've got Karis LeVert. You've got all these guys, that can shoot the three. So you can match them with the three-point shooting. So I believe that's what's going to happen. And I got Cavs in 5. So we got a finals in Nuggets versus Cavs. And I've got the Cleveland Cavaliers, surprise, winning this in 6 games. You can at me because the Cavs are the number 1 net rating. That's my argument here. The number 1 net rating in the league. They are the best team statistically, because they are the best defensively. I believe they're in the top 5, top 8 offensively. They are going to win this championship. They have the team. They've got the players. They've got their guy. They are going to win it. They're the best defensive team. What did I say in the beginning of the video when I was talking about the Western Conference? It's all about defense. Who's the best defensive team? The Cleveland Cavaliers. They will be your NBA champions, and they're going to win it. Donovan Mitchell, Finals MVP. It is 12:08, April 11th. I called it.